Hi, and welcome to That Guy's a Maniac, the podcast. I'm your host, Richie.
And I'm your host, Kanzi11, aka Farley. Cue the music.
I mean, would it be too tough to go straight into the character item level game? Like, just straight away?
Are we recording? I'm not.
Yeah, we are.
I had a feeling that we were. Just a sense. That's my.
You sense my recording voice.
That's my. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you put on the Scottish accent that weirdly, or you put on.
Hello.
You still found a way to say hello. Let's do it.
Ah, shit. Make it so.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. So this week we have the character item level. Farley, do you want to explain the rules?
Yes. One of us invents in our mind palace, not invents, recalls or holds in our mind palace a character item or level from a video game. The other has to guess it, asking one special question, and the rest are yes or no based questions. The game ends when the guesser guesses the game.
Guesses the game?
Yep. Or the thing.
The thing. Oh, yeah, or the thing.
Guesses the game, not the...
I thought you went meta. Guesses the game. The game is character item level.
Yeah. Really easy to guess that. Is the game character item level?
Yep. Right, let's go on. No, it is not.
Okay. Are you thinking of a character item or level?
Yes, I am. It is a level. Just because we haven't had enough of them.
Yeah, no, they're tricky. Okay. Ooh. Whoa.
What's up?
Is that a guitar?
Oh, that's the springs on my mic arm. I'm sorry.
Okay. It sounded like you did a dramatic strum to kick off the game.
Oh, we were supposed to have like a theme tune for this, weren't we?
Do you know this? It sounds like the kind of one note you get as a character walks on screen and it's a desert, and they look around.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it a desert level?
It is not a desert level.
Is it an ice level?
It is not an ice level.
Is it a volcano/fire level?
No.
Is it a spooky castle level?
Ooh. No, it's not.
Is it from a survival horror game?
Yes.
Is it the guardhouse from Resident Evil?
Yes. Well done. Record time.
Great.
Was it the spooky castle that put you in the right direction?
Yeah. Even though he said no. Did he say no?
Said,
Yeah,
no.
Okay. That's what tipped me off.
Yeah. Cool. Right, so we are continuing on from last week where we were talking about the games with which we have been playing.
Jesus. Yeah.
And you were previously talking about I don't know, something Still Waters and Senran Kagura Titty Ninjas.
Yeah.
I was talking about 2 Point Museum and what was the other one?
Something about...
Oh, the Golden Idol, Rise of the Golden Idol.
Cats? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, I've taken a hiatus from cat games at the moment.
Okay. Well, do the thing.
What are you playing?
Thanks for asking, Richie. I finished still the deep wakes.
Still waters run deep.
Still lakes. Water? Still the deep wakes, yes.
Still the deep wakes.
I finished it. It was very linear, but it was good.
Good.
There we go.
I think you already gave a rating for it. Would it change in any way?
No. As it was getting to the end, so there's some bits where you're running away. There's some bits with environmental hazards. And as it was nearing, when you feel things are nearing a conclusion, right?
Yeah.
Everything's wrapping up the story and characters and whatnot. I was thinking this could go one of two ways. Either there's going to be some horrible boss fight, because it's a walking simulator. In fact, there's a trophy called Walking Simulator. I think
Brilliant.
you get it for like running less than 10 minutes in the whole game, which I think is pretty impossible to do anyway. Yeah, it's either going to be a goofy boss battle or just nothing. And it's just nothing, which was my preference.
Yeah.
As in you don't have to do anything, you just walk.
Good.
Yeah. Good.
What else have you been playing?
So,
you can't get away with that.
So I've recently acquired, I think I mentioned, PlayStation VR 1. I don't think it was called VR 1, it was just PlayStation VR, but now there's a PlayStation VR 2. It is compatible with the PlayStation 4. And so I've been retrospectively catching up with some VR games.
Do you enjoy, like, when you're playing VR games,
Yeah.
do you sit and play them alone? Are you in the house alone?
Yeah, I'm in the house alone, and also I put headphones on.
Does that, like, I don't think I could do that. I don't like that idea at all. But maybe that's just me.
No, I think you have to. You have to. And because it's so goofy to set up, like it's fiddly. Particularly if you're you have to get it over your glasses, and then if you're not quite sitting right, you have to kind of keep resetting it because things either get too high or too low. But once you get that sweet spot, and you're in the virtual world, it's great. But yeah, you are the most vulnerable you've ever been.
Yeah. I don't like that at all.
No, there's been a couple of times when my wife's come in and sat down, and I've been unaware, and I take the headset off. Like, oh shit! How long have you been there? It's like 2 days. You've been in there.
Yeah.
Been in there for 2 days.
80 years.
80 years. The other weird thing about it is in worlds which are immersive, so
Yeah.
whatever 360. But some games aren't. Some you are the platform. Over time, I found myself you lose track of where your physical body is. So I've found myself like occasionally, I'm like, where's my neck hair? It's because I've been looking, I've been looking to the right, but also my vision shifted to the right, and so I'm just weirdly sat there. If you walked in, just weirdly sat there, kind of looking at the wall.
Oh God!
My body's facing one direction, but my head's just facing the wall. Yeah, odd.
That's a creepy statement alone. It
is a bit Blair Witch, in your own house. So yeah, I've been enjoying it. I think a game that I didn't even know had VR support, because I thought it came out a long time ago. So I don't know whether they put a lot of effort into making it compatible. But Wipeout Omega Collection.
Okay, I had no idea about that either.
Oh, it's fucking brilliant. So it's brilliant, not in VR. It is Wipeout HD Fury, and Wipeout 2048.
Brilliant.
Excuse me. So it's a bundle of games which I think originally came out on the PlayStation Portable.
Right. Okay.
Um,
So I only I lost track of the Wipeout series after 2048, 2098, 2098,
2097.
2097. Yep. Got there in the end.
I don't know anymore. I think it is 29. Wipeout 2097. Wipeout 2097. Sounds right, doesn't it?
20, yeah.
So the second one. That's the second one.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right. Anyway, so they put some out, and then this is a mega bundle, and it came out in 2017, and it's one of the games that I was really looking forward to. Wipeout HD goes back to 2008. But I think I might have, if I have talked about it on the podcast, I might have complained about that game is such a me complaint. But that game is too big. It's just too big.
Why is it too big?
I've been playing it since 2019, not constantly, but chipping away at it. And I've got 5 trophies out of 38.
Okay.
That's just progression trophies. And I haven't even touched.
So what other kind of achievements are there in the game?
But it's just the so they've got 3 holes. So you can kind of move between the 3 games, HD, Fury, and 2048. And then each of those. So I think I started with HD. Each of those has you work through actually it's weird because the game Blockbuster, the game show.
Yeah.
You have a board a bit like Blockbuster.
Amazing.
With these hexagons, and a couple of them will be open to begin with, and you have to beat whatever challenge. So sometimes it's time trial, sometimes it's eliminator, where you kind of have to you go round and round a track, and it gets faster and faster, and you have to destroy these mines which spawn with a laser. Cool. There's another one where you have to kind of go as fast as you can, and as it gets faster and faster, you kind of build up this charge to then jump how many levels. Other ones, there's a tournament. So there's lots of different things to do on different tracks. And then, I don't know. I don't even know how many there are on Wipeout HD, but I think I'm on the 4th level of them. And they're challenging. They get challenging from the 2nd level onwards. It's just too huge. I don't know when I'm ever going to even finish Wipeout HD, let alone start the other 2. But a huge fan of the Wipeout games. One of those games that I was blown away with, Wipeout 2097. And it's a weird racer because I'm not a huge racing game kind of guy. My brother is. He was just innately and naturally better at racing games than me. Yeah,
but your brother likes Gran Turismos and Colin McRae's and things like that, whereas you like Mario Kart and Wipeout 2097. So there's a bit of a difference between those kinds of games. That is you know what I mean?
Yeah, there is a bit of a difference, but I think Wipeout is more of a racing game than it is a Mario Kart or Crash Team Racing type game. But whenever I pick it up, and this was true back when I played Wipeout and Wipeout 2097, there's a level of kind of, how do I describe it? Almost like micro mastery is the only thing I can explain it.
Micro mastery,
yeah. So you pick it up. I'll have a go at this level, or whatever, this track, and you won't even make a lap, right? You'll get destroyed. You'll keep bumping into things. And you're like, well, that's really tough. Then by giving it 2 or 3 more goes, I don't know if everyone has this, but this is my experience. Something you get there, right? And then before you know it, you're doing perfect laps around a track, which, 3 attempts previously are this impossible. Nobody could ever complete this, let alone do it on any kind of harder difficulty.
Yeah, you know what? I kind of get and know the feeling you're talking about. And annoyingly, because I used the Gran Turismo as an example, I think I know what you mean by that as well. just, like everybody remembers the Gran Turismo awful driving license challenges.
Yeah.
Like,
but you couldn't do anything unless you passed them, right?
Yeah. But then I can't even remember what happened, or I started doing the licenses again, and I was just like nailing them.
Yeah.
Like, and then you're just like, all right, okay, because you've spent time in the game, because you've gained skills and mastery, not that are quantifiable.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what you mean by micro mastery. It's like, how did I get these skills? Where did I get it from? Like, is it? And it's just learning the game more than it is.
But I think I call it I call it micro mastery because if I give it like a month in between playing Wipeout,
You'll
go back
lose
in.
it.
Yeah, and I'll lose it, and I'll be this is
Yeah.
impossible. I don't understand how I got this far in the game because every level was really difficult, really hard, and then you get there again. But because it's so fast, it's not like other racing games where you can kind of memorize the track. It's too fast to memorize.
Yeah.
You know, as you're going, my brain is not thinking, "Oh yeah, coming up, we've got to turn," because it's too quick. It just somehow goes in there. It's odd, a really odd sensation, but ultimately very satisfying when you wipe out on lap 1, second time round, like you finish, but you've got no shield left and you're in last place. You know, okay. And then before you know it, you're getting first. You know, I'm not perceptibly doing anything different. I'm just getting better at playing this game. So, in VR, it is wonderful. It is amazing. Because you're sat in the cockpit of a AG system.
That is cool. Yeah. That is cool.
And you can look around, and you've got we always used to. Me and my brother used to try playing it in first-person mode on the PlayStation.
Yes, so did I.
It's so difficult.
I get used to playing it in first-person mode. The same with was it Gran Turismo as well? It's like everything was always done in the first person. Like basically, you were like strapped to the front grille between the two headlights.
Yeah. You don't see a steering wheel and the wing mirror and whatever. You are. Yeah. You're riding on the front. I think it is. I don't know. I mean, I think it is a different game, and I think there must be. I've not looked into it, but I think there must be some concession because I think it is. I'm weirdly after I get over that kind of micro mastery hump. I'm weirdly better at it in VR than I am.
Ah, okay.
But I think that's to do with kind of comfort settings and it's not a 1-to-1. But I was just amazed that this game from 2017 has a full VR mode.
That's excellent. Yeah.
Yeah. You can play the whole thing VR. There's one kind of race challenge it doesn't let you do. There's one where I think it's the challenges where you have to destroy other ships. But it's disabled because you can press a button and your ship immediately does a 180.
Ooh.
So you stop going the other way. And that like it's not even there's not even an option for like yes. I want to take my life in my own hands. Let me do it. It's just no. You can't do this. You can't get this blockbuster hexagon in VR. Come back. Ooh. Yeah, come back in non-VR.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Can't get this blockbuster hexagon.
I love it. That's what it is. You envisage the blockbuster board, and that is the challenge board. With these ones, this ain't your granddaddy's Wipeout. So there are some ones where you're on a racing vehicle on a realistic track, and if you look to your left and right, you can see people in the crowd, and it's just so good being on the starting grid, and you kind of look up, and there's ships floating overhead. There's like a virtual advertisement. Boy, it's great. But also a lot of the different modes are in kind of psychedelic. Electroland, I guess.
Psychedelic Electroland.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. That sort of retro futuristic thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but even your vehicle is like a special Tron. It basically looks like Tron. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, and it's really, really challenging to not just do that until my legs rot away and I become a Star Fox pilot.
Boom dadum. Cool.
Yeah.
So how many wipeouts would you give it out of a successful micro learning?
Micro mastery. I'd give it 2,097 thingies out of micro masteries, learnings out of micro masteries.
Okay.
Yeah. I've knocked off some points because it's just too goddamn big.
Too goddamn big.
Which was weird. a problem from I know it's a weird complaint, but it was a problem from Wipeout 3. So Wipeout was like as I remember, it was like an arcadey, like Mario, the original Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can do these 3 tracks over and over again, I guess. Wipeout 2097 at least had difficulty layers to it, and then Wipeout 3 was this insane grid. I had a friend of the pod, Dr. Wu 69. He obsessively played his way through that entire grid in Wipeout 3, and it took him ages and was very difficult.
See, I'm still struggling to how is a racing game big? But I suppose that are each of the races different, or is it just?
So you get your blockbuster grid, right? So you go into at the moment I'm playing Wipeout HD. Although I think it kind of divides up into 2040. I don't know. I just don't even know. Right, I've not even explored the other 2 games on that front end menu. You get your blockbuster grid, and it starts off with 8 blockbuster grids. And okay, fine. You do a race. You do a eliminator challenge. You do a single track race. You do a thingy. Okay, fine. You fill out that grid, and it goes, here's another grid. You go, okay, it's got a few more hexagons on it. Okay, you do that, and then there's another one, and then. But
when you're doing those, when you click on a hexagon, you're going in to do a race. Is it on a level, or is it on a?
It depends. So it could be a race, right? You have to win this 1-track race.
Yeah.
It could be you have to drive along.
But how many tracks are in this game? Let's put it that way then.
Shooty. I don't know. So on the border, the blockbuster board I was doing 2 days ago.
Yeah.
One of the hexagons was win this tournament. So I thought, okay, fine. And there was 8 tracks.
Okay.
Yeah. So to race.
I know nothing about this game. Literally, 2097 is where I just sort of jumped off. It just feels so different.
Yeah, and it keeps going and going and going, and that's just one of the 3 games on there.
Right.
And if that wasn't bad enough, Wipeout HD includes all the content from Wipeout Pure and Pulse.
Great.
There's 5 games in there.
Crazy. I remember Wipeout 2097 having crazy soundtrack as well.
Yes, very, very good sound. I think again, particularly in VR, when you're all geared up, the combination of tunes, visuals, movement is something really special.
Yeah, good. Because I love the music. We Have Explosive. That was the opening theme tune to Wipeout 2097. That sort of disproportionate, and then the weird screams, and very dystopian. Loved it.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's great.
Cool.
And a pleasant surprise, because I already had the game. I didn't know it had a VR mode, and when I found out, I squealed with joy, like a little girl, or boy, or person, or dog, or whatever.
You squealed.
Yeah, I scored. And then when you load up the title screen, and it feels like you're in the the bit where Neo meets Morpheus.
In the White Room.
In the White Room, you feel
Brilliant,
like you're in the
brilliant.
White Room, yeah. And then it starts off with, and then you see in this whiteness, the Wipeout vehicles come towards you, and then as it's just over, like above your left side of your head, it kind of stops for like 2 seconds. So you're just looking at the underside of the vehicle, and then it whizzes off. Yeah, and I was like, yes.
Although that being said, with the industrial dystopian soundtrack, I do right now have nothing but the Blockbusters theme tune rattling around my head, and it's entirely your fault.
Good.
Yeah.
Richie.
Okay. What have I been playing? Is that what you're gonna ask?
What are you playing?
So, as part of my resolutions,
I still didn't check mine. Yeah.
I have
I'm playing Wipeout Omega, whatever. Definitely was not on my resolution list.
Doesn't matter. That's the fun part. When we get to the end of the year, it'll be fun.
Play through all 5 fucking Wipeout games. Anyway, carry on.
I have gone back to Baldur's Gate 3.
Good shout. It's on my long list. I played it over a weekend. I thought, I could get lost in this game, but I'm resisting buying it. Did you get over your existential hump, which was preventing you from actually playing this game last week?
Yes, I did.
How did you reach a resolution?
I can't remember what the existential hump was.
It was they'd added some things which meant that you could get something you used to not be able to get without somebody.
In fact, in the next few days,
or
they are releasing patch 8, which now includes a whole set of new subclasses, classic 5e subclasses. I don't mind. I don't care. My character is my character.
Your dilemma was, do I start again making the character I made again last time so I could get this option because I really wanted to date this bird or not? Or do I stick with my original game? Or do I restart and roll a complete new character, but I can't because I love my OC character too much?
Yeah.
And that was the impulse.
Yes. So I have persisted on with the OG character.
Okay.
I have occasionally popped into the character creator just to play about with it. I haven't made any new characters that I've started. But there's so many options. I can also reclass at any point. They've been very lenient with that in the game.
Yeah.
So you can decide, you know what, you don't want to play this tiefling bard anymore. You can be, an orc paladin if you want. Do what you want.
Thoughts on reclassing in Baldur's Gate 3?
I can see.
Does it undermine a true playthrough? Should you just be able to play the fucking game you bought how you wanted it? Where do you sit on the whole shadam?
I mean, for one of anything really, like, you could reclass every time you wanted to, spend the gold, and you could maybe find a way to better approach a situation. And it's kind of cheaty in that fashion, but at the same time.
Oh, so if you were reclassing as I didn't even think of that. You're reclassing as here's how to beat the game better.
Yeah, like
rather than
if you wanted to approach it as
I've made this character and I just don't love them, so I'm gonna reclass.
The thing is, you've got other people in your party that you can use. Like, I chose my character as a bard because I wanted to talk my way out of most fights.
Yeah.
And as such, I am able to do that. Still get XP for XYZ and all this sort of stuff. I still do a lot of fighting because I have characters who are fighters. In my party, literal fighters. So there's the game is well balanced. The thing is, I would say choose your character and stick with it because you're gonna unfold your own tale. Admittedly, it doesn't matter. Each class is gonna have a different thing happen to them. So there's the whole thing with paladins and the oath breaking, and you get to approach the game with that rigid rule set of you have to approach each situation, and if you don't do that, then you become an oath breaker and all that sort of stuff. That's like playing on a very hard level. I am very happy that I went for a bard because there is no other bards that you have in the game. So there are plenty of other people that will join your party. So I think I made a good choice in that there are main characters in there who do the job. And the fun thing with the bard is you do get to talk your way out of things, but you're also a bit sneaky, and so I always make the effort to do the sleight of hand stuff so that I can unlock doors, and I think it works. I'm happy with my character, and it's kind of scoundrelly in that sort of fashion. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And of course there is actually a vampire elf rogue who you could have in your party who can do kind of that as well. But I don't approach any of the dialogue sequences with anyone except my main character.
Yeah.
So you can approach it with someone with high charisma in the hope of talking it out, and things will happen in that fashion. Or in fact, you don't even need to make your own character. You can choose one of the pre-created ones. What I would say, and what I have felt I maybe missed out on, is one of the characters you can choose is something called the Dark Urge. Do you know about this from D&D or anything like that?
No, I think this is Seymour. The Dark Urge.
So the Dark Urge is a character that you create. However, they've had their memory blanked out, and all you can remember is blood and maiming and fighting, and you don't know why. That's all you can remember, but that's all you can remember from your past is that you have been there has been kills and killing. And then depending on your actions throughout the game, a whole new storyline unfolds. And I'm a bit annoyed that I never chose the Dark Urge. Apparently when it first came out, there was a lot of people didn't like it because it made everybody choose the murder hobo. Do you know what this is?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's basically someone with no background and they just want to kill people. The most simple bad character you can create.
Yeah. Everyone's first character.
Yeah.
They were abused as a child and they can't remember. They just remember waking up covered in blood, and then they're trying to reclaim their memories by murdering everybody.
Apparently the Dark Urge storyline that they added into it, there's a redemption arc, there's a fully falling into the depth of what you just want to kill, and things like that. So there's lots of different ways you can go, which I think is quite cool. And I don't think I will do a second playthrough of Baldur's Gate. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It is huge. My time at the moment on that game is 120 hours, which is massive. I haven't even... I have. I've just finished Act 2 of the 3 acts.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm roughly 66% through the game. But I'm doing everything as well. I am making a special effort to try and find everything I can in that game and do everything I can. And you've got a map, leave nothing uncovered. And therefore I think I'm doing quite a solid playthrough. There's so many options that I don't think you could ever play that game to the point where you can safely say you've seen every option. Do you know what I mean?
No. So when I briefly played it, it was because I had a friend who really wanted to play it. So we had a whole thing where a whole bunch of people piled over. There was a laptop and two laptops, one connected to the TV, and then we kind of, as a group, played
nice
2-player Baldur's Gate 3. And a couple of my friends who had played it quite a bit have played through it like 5 or 6 times, and are still playing it or replaying it. And because we knew we only had a limited amount of time on it, one of them was like, okay, if you want to play as a cleric, if you choose this cleric and this kind of god, then you'll end up with like a specific extra encounter between this character and this character. So it's kind of there's just loads and loads and loads of depth to it. Like you say, each of the classes has slightly different content. There's some super specific stuff, like if you're a cleric with this god, there's extra story. And then even as we were playing through it, like properly bumble fucking through it, we were triggering stuff that neither of these two people who've played it 6 times had ever seen before.
Yeah.
Like, on the like extremely bad track, right? The incompetent and bad. But and they're like, wow, I've never done so badly as to see, some random character bail you out of whatever. Or I think one of us ended up being imprisoned, kidnapped, and mind controlled.
Brilliant.
Yeah. And was pretty much just leading their own separate campaign whilst I was doing something else completely different.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And what's amazing is they have continued to update that game for free, right?
Yeah.
Even though when it came out, it didn't have much of a rocky launch.
It didn't, because they had spent so long on it.
Yeah.
They spent so long on it, and they had that whole the stress test.
Yeah.
Where they opened up they basically allowed you to have the whole game, but you could only play through the first, 2 or 3 hours of it.
Yeah.
And that's what got me into it.
That was, it was whatever game of the year back then. So there's been absolutely no reason to be adding in. I was looking at some of the update notes, and there's weird little things they're adding, but they're also adding in content beyond.
I mean, the previous patch they added in mod support, official mod support for other people to create campaigns and characters and things like that. So this is a labor of love more than anything else.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's also the spiritual successor to the Dragon Ages as well. So Larian Studios were apparently the original people who did the Dragon Age and stuff like that. They took on these people, so it feels a lot like Dragon Age, which was a big thing for me because I really enjoyed that whole thing of finding the companions and choosing your classes and all the crazy secrets and stuff like that you can find. It feels the same, but I love all the new characters in this world as well.
Did you play the Veil Guard?
No, I bought it. I think I will play it after Baldur's Gate. Why?
Because as our website attests, you're a big fan of Dragon Age.
Yes.
And it's been a long old wait.
I mean, the thing
For
is,
a new one. It's like 10 years now. There's a 10-year gap.
Yeah, it was on 360. The Dragon Age Inquisition.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, the third one. I could play that again because I don't even remember anything from it. But yeah, no, like I think a lot of people were divided because where the previous games were not so much about the action, this one is very, very action focused, and it's almost got like it's like the difference between Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VII Remake. You're pressing buttons to attack, as opposed to choosing commands to attack. And that being said, you could do either in the previous one as well, but I think combat was a bit more of a walkover in the previous Dragon Age games, whereas it's a bit more prevalent in this one. And so the people who were previously enjoying the Dragon Ages for the story and the creative modes are feeling a little alienated
in the new one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, catch the exclusive review in... It wasn't even on your resolution list, was it?
No, it wasn't.
Catch the exclusive That Guy's review 2028.
Yeah, maybe. On my final... Once I get through Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Too similar, though, that's the problem. Like, I won't play it immediately after.
Yeah, it's a bit too much, I think.
Too many dragons and elves.
Too many... Hello, my name is Rygar.
Rygar!
Cool. So what made you pick Baldur's Gate 3 up again after the impasse?
Had
it just been long enough?
I think it had just been long enough.
For you to get over yourself. Like, do you know what? I like Baldur's Gate 3.
I mean, I'd already got over that hump. But I had got to a point where I thought, "Whoa, I'm nearly at Act 3." Little did I fucking know. I'm nearly at Act 3, so I'll hold off for a little bit. So I just kept on holding off, and then I picked it up again and started moving about, and like, for fuck's sake, I am not anywhere near Act 3. As more of the map started to unveil itself, like, my god.
Yeah.
So much to do.
But that's good, because it sounds like a game that you want more. Like, you were putting it off because you thought there isn't much of it left and you wanted to eke it out for as long as possible.
Yeah, that as well. And like, I'll be honest, yeah, there was a little bit of that whole, is this the right path I've gone down? But I am fully committed to staying with my character as she is, as a tiefling bard, enjoying life and being a good guy as well.
Cool.
I don't want to be a bad guy. I don't think I could be a bad guy in that game. Some of the choices you can make are morally abhorrent, and I don't think I could do that. Like, I think it would be hard to roleplay the bad guy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe in our fictional timeline where you and I don't know, don't do anything else but just play video games. I'd love to have a playthrough where I enforce you to make the evil guy choices.
Yes.
and just watch you hate yourself and your character.
Yeah, that's the thing. Just mutilate my character.
Yeah. Interesting. How many Baldurs out of Gates would you give it?
3.
3?
Yeah.
That's very good.
Okay, so what have you been playing, Farley?
Well, now that I'm enabled with the technology from the future / 10 years ago, it's made me reevaluate the games I have on the PlayStation 4 on the hunt for the little PSVR symbol.
Okay.
So I can't remember. Did I talk about Tomb Raider last week?
No.
Okay. So to my surprise, one of the Tomb Raiders, can't remember which one, had a little PSVR sign underneath it. I was like, interesting, because I imagine platforming in VR will make you instantly hurt. So climbing up a wall in first person, no, thank you. And of course, it's not the whole thing. It's a strange little special mode, right? In a way that I think many games had a strange little special mode, because Papa Sony or whoever was like, can you do something for the VR, because no one's buying these. And so there's a mode where you can explore Croft Manor. There's a side story.
But you always had that kind of thing where you could go around and you could trap the waiter, the butler in the freezer and stuff like that.
Yeah, yes, it's a nice nod to that. I think was it Shadow or Rise, or I don't know, just Tomb Raider called Tomb Raider. They had a few bits of DLC back in the day. And one of them was based around Croft Manor. There were flashbacks to Croft Manor. So there's this Croft Manor mode, and you go into it, and it forces you to start in comfort mode. You can't do anything. There's nothing to do. It's just exploring the manor.
Okay.
And comfort mode kind of freezes you in place, so you can kind of spin around on the. Well, you can't spin around on the spot. You can move the left stick on the joypad to change your viewing angle by like 15 degrees or whatever. It's quite a common thing in these games, because if they let you move around in real time, apparently lots of people help.
Okay.
And then what you can do is you can kind of project a ghostly Lara Croft in front of you. You know, kind of like in first-person shooters where you go to throw a frag grenade and it will sometimes show you the trajectory.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can be like, okay, I want Lara to go there, and you place the virtual Lara, and then you kind of teleport without teleporting. If you
ender pearl over there.
Yeah, you don't bamf. You are just there. So I was exploring the manor like that. The manor's quite extensive, and in the game you open up various different bits and pieces. There's a crypt in the bottom, and it's just cool exploring these environments in VR.
Yeah, absolutely.
All the attention to detail that you perhaps don't get to see or appreciate otherwise. And then you do that for a certain amount of time, and it says you can now take the limiters off. You can now play in not comfort mode. And I was like, fuck yes, take the limiters off. And then almost instantly held to 2 seconds. So it allows you, instead of bamfing around, you can move around with the analog sticks.
Right.
And there's something about not having that stable horizon, which is why playing Star Wars Squadrons, Wipeout are fine, because you've got the cockpit as a feature.
Yeah.
Or you are wedded to the spot and spinning around. Apparently, most people can just deal with that, no problem. But the moment you have control over your speed, yeah.
I've got to try that as well.
yeah. Next time you guys away, just bamf around for a bit and then try thingy mode and see how well you do. It's something to do with, I don't know, just your natural whatever accelerometer and because I think a certain part of your eyes are like, no, we're not really looking into the distance. We're looking 1.5 centimeters into a screen, and you just can't trick your body. So that was fun. But yeah, it was cool to explore Croft Manor, and then Resident Evil 7. Weirdly, I was looking up because I've been quite a harsh critic of VR, I think, and I don't think it has been. I don't think it has been successful, really. And as we've discussed previously, now it's just too confusing. Too confusing as to which VR system you should have, and there's X, Y, Z iterations of all these different ones. For the console-based ones, it's now really fucked because there's there's compatibility issues. The whole thing that we started when consoles became iterative rather than generational leaps are, you can play this. Some games you can play your PlayStation 4 games on PlayStation VR, but you can't use your PlayStation VR 2 to play some. All that, just this is anathema to the market. Right? We don't want, mum and dad and little Timmy having these stresses over you've bought the wrong game for the wrong thing, kind of thing. But it's been long enough that I thought, okay, this is a great time to be picking up PlayStation VR because everything will be £2 because it's a dead system.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Where are the big lists of what are the top PlayStation VR games? And there aren't really that many. Resident Evil 7 is on there, which I've played before in a very public setting in the Capcom Cafe in Japan.
Oh, okay. How did that work out? Did you do any streaming?
I did, and then I felt really sick. But I think it's because of the very rich novelty Capcom themed food that I played immediately.
Oh yeah, Ebony and Ivory.
Yeah, Ebony and Ivory, and then William Birkin's eyeball arm, and then I had to have a sit down in Emoji afterwards because I wasn't feeling particularly good.
Oh dear.
Anyway, that remains stellar. But it was interesting to me that Resident Evil 7 is great. Why aren't there 20 other games like Resident Evil 7? But apparently there aren't.
Yeah, that seems weird.
Yeah, it is really weird. And it's just so I don't know. It's weird to describe. I've been playing that game in VR very, very slowly, just because you're just wandering around looking at stuff. It's weird.
I mean, that's cool at the same time.
Yeah, it's cool, but, because you can. So you're walking around, you're noticing things you didn't notice before. None of it's particularly consequential to the story. There is a bit of immersion breaking because, again, you can kind of... it's not zipping forward like in Tomb Raider. But when you're in position, it is like flicks of the right stick, which kind of can change the direction which you're looking. You can also look around, but it's just easier to flick the stick and do it. So whenever there's like a cutscene or something, you get yanked out of being in VR.
Oh no.
Yeah, and then you're looking at a screen of the cutscene.
Have you tried... I don't know if the PlayStation 5 has any of these options, but have you tried like the home cinema viewing within VR?
Yeah. It's you can do everything you can do on a PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 in VR.
So like you can just straight up put a Netflix film. You can watch Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
And you can just be sitting back and it feels like you're inside a giant cinema sort of thing.
Yeah. It feels like you're in a personal cinema because you're just looking at a big screen.
That's amazing. See, I like that idea.
Yes, it is. Well, it's interestingly we're enjoying it in this house because do you remember there was a brief period where TVs had picture-in-picture modes?
Yes.
And it was perfect for us because somebody could watch the TV and somebody could be playing a game or doing whatever, right? Two people playing a game. It wasn't ideal. Somebody had a less good experience because either what they were watching was partially covered up, or you were looking at a tiny screen and trying to play, I don't know, Command and Conquer. It's probably a bad thing to play in like an 8 of a screen. Anyway, for whatever reason, they decided, we're not going to do this anymore, which is kind of weird. It's one of those things where you felt like you were living in the future, but now it's something that just doesn't exist anymore.
Doesn't it?
No, I don't think so. Like our last 2 iterations of TVs don't have POP.
Huh. Do you know what? I haven't looked for it in my telly. I will make an effort to though.
Yeah, have a look and report back. But with this way, you can, somebody can be watching the TV, and somebody else can be in VR land.
No, yeah, of course. But do you trust the people around you? That's the problem. Do you trust your wife not to interfere with you? Not like that.
Yeah. There's no chance. Listen. I think even with the best will in the world, and even if you love somebody to death, there becomes a time where you kind of rank alongside static objects in the house. Right? There's no malice there. It's just what happens. You become a known entity. So once you reach that level, if I was interfered with, it'd be a pleasant surprise. But I think she's just happy. She's just happy that technically we're spending time together, but in the best possible way.
What a zero interaction.
Zero interaction, yeah. Technically spending time with each other, but not in a way that anybody infringes on anyone else's preferences.
See, I wouldn't trust my girlfriend. I guarantee that if I was playing VR, I'd be into it and immersed. I would just at some point get a finger up my nose or something like that, and it would be frightening.
Yeah.
Really, really frightening.
Yeah, and then because you'd scream and jump up, you'd yank all the cables out and probably break something, and then be really angry.
Fall on the cat and
yeah. And then because you were doing that weird thing that I was doing, where you're sitting facing forward but your head's facing the other way. You accidentally
it's just like you're looking someone in the face. You're not really.
You accidentally snap your neck, and then she has to bury you. It's a whole thing. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah. Because what do? You don't phone the police, right? Technically, it was your fault. Or you could phone the police and say, "Oh, I don't know, he just got scared by something." And they go, "Oh, what was he playing?" And they look and they see you were playing Panzu Hunter 2. No, I don't think it was this game he was playing.
But his nose is bleeding for some reason.
Did you blow in his ear? Did you flick his balls? Were you splashing water at him? Yeah. Just to cover up the murder. Yeah. So you wouldn't do it if it's just you and your girlfriend. You wouldn't do it if you're on your own. So there's basically no circumstance where you do it.
Yeah.
Would you do it with a crowd?
No, definitely not.
Okay.
No, it's and it's like just as you were saying, like, or I'm slightly excited by the idea of it, and I've definitely got to try it next time we meet up. And like, you would be the number one person I would not play VR games with.
There
slowly drawing a Sharpie round my head.
Fortunately, once you got the headset and the headphones on, there's not actually much real estate out there to really tamper with.
Okay.
Yeah. There are a couple of cool. There's a VR demo thing, and there's a couple of cool games where you've got asynchronous gameplay, so the person in VR is doing something different to people with controllers.
Yeah, I like that. I think that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Like people who can, affect how you're playing it. I like that. I like that in general as an online system.
Yeah, I do. I love whatever it is, asymmetric gameplay. And I have done ever since Wind Waker.
Yeah, tingle.
Yeah, you can waste somebody's rupees.
Throw bombs. Just throw bombs all the time. Just
dropping bombs and rinsing the money.
Are you going to visit shop? Bomb, bomb, bomb,
sorry.
bomb.
Sorry.
I didn't realise that's what that button did. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I've been carpet bombing Hyrule.
Yeah.
The last
hour.
hour.
You can't afford what you were going to go into in the shop for.
That kind of sucks as well because my memory of watching Wind Waker is you actually need money for progression at various points, right?
Yeah, you really do. Yeah.
Whoopsie.
But you get things from Tingle. That's the other side of it all. Like, you find other things that people who did not play the game with Tingle had.
Nothing groundbreaking though. It's not like you find a Pikachu or something.
A Pikachu?
Yeah.
What an odd thing.
Isn't it Majora's Mask where there's a bunch of masks which are basically Pikachu, Star Fox?
Yeah, probably. Like, that does sound very Nintendo.
Listen to me. Never played a fucking Legend of Zelda game in my life.
Are you going to watch the Legend of Zelda film? Never played a Zelda game in your life.
I will only watch it if it is entirely strict to the games, and whoever the lead actor is has no lines of dialogue. They just go,
Pia!
Yeah. That's the only one.
Listen!
Yeah. It's just 90 minutes of the fucking water temple. That I'd watch as a work of art.
Timothy Chalamet.
Hey. And what's her face? Big-eyed fly.
Anna Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, Anna Taylor-Joy plays... What's the fairy? Naja? What's her name?
Navi.
So you can't tell that it's Anna Taylor-Joy apart from the voice.
Listen. It's just the voice. But she only records it once. Hey! Listen! That's it.
Really?
And it's just over and over and over.
Yeah. That's what I'd watch. Just doing the water temple. So you just see Timothy Chalamet just drown over and over again.
I think they're going to Breath of Wild it. So it's going to be all the survival stuff.
Oh, I don't know. It'll probably be like fucking Minecraft. I hope it's based on... What was the side-scrolling one for the Philips CDI? Zelda 2?
Yes.
Oh, was that one?
Oh, God. Link... Something... what
Isn't
was
that the one where he goes, "Excuse me, princess"? Or is that the cartoon?
Oh, God. I don't even remember.
And then like Zelda's just walking around in like jeans and a t-shirt with a knife or something. And oh yeah, this is what I remember from.
Okay, so there was 3 of them. Legend of Zelda, Link, the Faces of Evil, Zelda, the Wand of Gameleon.
That's the worst.
Gamelon. Yeah. Gamelon. And The Adventure of Link, Zelda 2. Yeah.
That's what I want.
I want Ocarina of Time. Because, you know what?
I mean, that would be the sensible. Yeah, either Breath of the Wild or Ocarina of Time would be the sensible one.
It's going to be Breath of the Wild, because that is the current iteration of Zelda at the moment. And people like both of them, and it's got the whole creation and all that sort of stuff.
Fuck it. Just go multiverse. I hope it's Toon Link hanging out with Link hanging out with CDI Link.
With Kid Link from Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
And all versus the giant moon face that's coming to blow up the world at the end of the movie.
Yes. A bit like that fucking amazing Dragon Quest movie that I tell everyone I know to watch and nobody watches it.
Dragon Quest movie?
No, mate. Come on. Don't watch it.
Dragon Quest movie?
Yeah, there's a Dragon Quest movie. It's on Netflix. You watch it, and for the first 75% of it, you're like, I think this is just a retelling of maybe Dragon Quest 1. And it has a fucking mental twist at the end. And you're like, what the hell? This is probably one of the greatest video game movies ever made.
Okay. Sure.
Yep.
For your birthday, I will
Thank you.
watch Dragon Quest.
What's it called?
Dragon Quest.
No, it's called Dragon Quest. You're in the movie or something stupid like that. Dragon Quest.
Your Story.
Your Story. That's it. Watch Dragon Quest Your Story, everybody, for my birthday.
For your birthday. And that's on Netflix.
In the UK, it's currently on Netflix. I think it went away for a bit. Inexplicably, it came back. I don't know why. I don't think anyone's...
Somebody else had it for a little while.
I don't think anyone's subscribing to Netflix for the Dragon Quest Your Story movie, but yeah.
Oh, there's a Dragon Age anime as well.
Yeah, there is. It's supposed to be... I don't know what it's supposed to be.
Just there. Anyway, instead of scrolling, see, I'll be right into that.
you say I'll be right into it. You mean you'll download it and not touch it for 3 years?
Yes, exactly. I've forgotten what happened in Dragon Age. It's been that long.
It's been a Dragon Age. Hey!
I feel like we should end the podcast on that one because it's not going to get better.
No, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. Have you been playing anything else?
Other games, yeah. I've been continuing Heavy Rain. I've been playing Pokemon Pocket.
Yeah.
The usual.
I want to talk to you about all those things, so we'd maybe have to have another episode.
Oh my god, WhatRE playing 3.
Yeah.
See you there then.
Okay.
That guy's a maniac.
Oh.